Hi guys, Dan again, and we're looking at the next part of our correcting ankle dysfunction home exercise program, warm-up routine. So we've done our release techniques, we've got the muscles to calm down, we've done our mobilization techniques, so we've created some more movement within the ankle joint. We then did some stretching techniques, so we got the tight muscles being the calves, so the gastroc, the fibularis, all those muscles we released, we've lengthened them. We did those calf stretch videos previously, so we've done that. So I'm assuming at this point you've done all those techniques, they're all done and out of the way. So once they're done, what we need to do now is what's known as activation techniques. So what activation techniques are, we're going to be targeting the muscles that were long. So we had short muscles, being the gastroc and soleus and the fibularis. They were our short overactive muscles. And on the other side, on the front, we've got our underactive, or our long and underactive muscles, so muscles that have become longer in length, don't have a lot of drive to them, don't have a lot of neural drive, they're shut off, the body's not using them very well, or very little even. So we need to get those guys working again. That's going to help to, one, that's going to maintain our flexibility, and also help to optimize mechanics at the foot. It's going to help to keep our foot straight, help keep our arch as well, keep the height of the arch. Also when we're walking or running or landing, we're going to land heel to toe. That's going to help to decelerate force that's coming up through the ground. And that's going to take a lot of stress off of our ankle, our knee, our hip and our low back. So whenever we run, we're going to be able to, if this muscle is working down here, which we're going to be activating, that's going to really help to stabilize the foot, make sure that there's not too much shock coming up from the floor, from the ground. So that's really, really important. So that's what we're going to be looking at. So we're going to be getting those muscles, and the muscles that are typically weak is our anterior tibialis and our posterior tibialis. So I'm going to show you how we activate those muscles next. Okay guys, so for tibialis anterior, real simple. You can do this with equipment or without equipment. I'm going to show you without equipment first. Real easy. We're going to have both feet straight, and we're going to turn them in slightly, so you want the fifth toe forward. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my toes curled under slightly. So what that does is, I've got some muscles that if the tibialis anterior doesn't work very well, which in our case it doesn't, other muscles will try and take over. That's going to be our long toe extensors. They're the ones that try and pull our toes upward. They try and do the job of the tibialis anterior if it's not working so well. So what we're going to do, we're going to inhibit them just by flexing our toes slightly, keeping the fifth toe forward. And what I'm going to do, because this muscle pulls the foot up, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull the foot up. I'm actually going to turn it inwards slightly. I'm going to hold it 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come back down, turn the foot out, back to the starting position. I'm going to pull the foot up, turn it in, hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, back down. You're not going to get terribly high on this, that's fine. We can pull up again, turn it in, hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, back down, back up, turn it in, hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, back down, back up again, hold it 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to show you guys from the front, so make sure you're stable when you're doing this. Normally I would have a wall in front of me, but I'm just going to show you guys for viewing purposes. So again, fifth toe forward, pull the foot up, slightly turn them inwards, hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, back down, back up again, turn it in, hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, and back down. Okay, so that's our tibialis anterior activation. We want to be doing that for 12 to 20 repetitions. Okay, so 12 to 20 reps as we're pulling the foot upwards. We want to hold it at the end there for a good 4 seconds. So 4 seconds at the end, down for 2. So our tempo is going to be up 1, 2, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 1, 2. Okay, and we're going to do this we're going to do this activation and our core support techniques afterwards as a circuit. So we might run through this one to 2 times. But that's our first one that we're going to do. So that's tibialis anterior activation. Hi guys, so we just did tibialis anterior activation. We're now going to do tibialis posterior activation. So you're going to need one of these bands ideally, so one of these little fit loops, okay? And what you're going to do, I'm going to show you this standing. You could do this technique, I'm about to show you sitting as well, that's perfectly fine. If you want to make it a little bit easier on yourself, that's fine. So we're going to bring that band, and I'm going to wrap it around the bumps of around the ankles, the malleoli. And what we're going to do, I'm going to have a bit of tension on that band. I want my fifth toe forward. Okay, that's going to favour my tibialis posterior. It also helps to inhibit my lateral gastroc. This will also get my medial gastroc to work, which is also weaker as well and become long and underactive. So we're going to get a couple of things working there. And unlike the tibialis anterior activation, when we're doing this, we're actually going to have our toes up, because like the tibialis anterior, if it doesn't work very well, other muscles take over. In this case, for the tibialis posterior, it's actually the toe flexors that try to take over. So what I do, if I do a bit of toe extension, it's going to get rid of those. It's going to inhibit those muscles. So I'll get nice pure tibialis posterior work. So back to it, fifth toes forward. I'm going to lift my toes up. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be pushing up like a calf raise, but with my fifth toe forward. And I'm putting all the pressure through the balls of my feet. I'm looking at my knees, squeezing my glutes. And what I'm going to do on this one is I actually want to come down 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm really working on that control, that deceleration, which is so important whenever we strike the ground, if we're running or walking or jumping. And again, I'm just going to repeat. I'm going to go up, hold for 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4. Up for 1, hold it, 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4. Back up. I'm going to hold it, 2, down 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up, hold it, back down 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up, hold it, back down 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay guys, so another progression for the tibialis posterior. I'm going to keep calling it tibialis posterior because I keep saying posterior tib as well. So all the same thing. I'm just going to call it tibialis posterior. That's how it should be. So this progression, I've got to thank my mentor Brent Brookbush. He taught me this. Really effective for the tibialis posterior. As I said, guys, this is a progression. This is not easy. This is tough. Don't start with this. Maybe go seated, which we did before, and in the standing version with the band, that position that we did before, then come to this. Unless you're super conditioned, then you might want to start with this. But for most people, start seated, standing, then the single leg calf raise variation that we're going to do. So what you need to do, setup is similar. As you see, I'm against the wall. I'm just going to crash into the wall like that and lean into it. Make sure the wall's solid so they don't fall through it. That would be good. And then you're going to have the fifth toe forward like we've done on the other progression, so on the other variations of doing the tibialis posterior. So fifth toe is forward, so my big toe's in, of course. And I'm going to move this foot over. This is going to be my kickstand. So I'm going to show you the easier version first. So against the wall, I'm going to be pushing up against this wall, so that's going to create some resistance for me. The reason I'm leaning to the side is that gives a better line of pull for the tibialis posterior, so that's why I'm in this position. And what I'm going to do from here, so fifth toe forward, toes up, that's going to get the long toe flexors out, and I'm just going to push up onto the ball of the feet, a bit like a calf raise. If you've done that in the gym before, you're just bringing your heel up. I'm going to hold it 2 seconds, down 1, 2, 3, 4, back up, hold it for 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4, back up, hold it for 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're really working on that deceleration, that eccentric control as we call it. So you're really training your body to decelerate forces from the ground every time you run, land, jump, land from a high surface. We're going to be able to absorb those ground reaction forces through the ground appropriately, so it doesn't damage any structures further up the chain. So like I said, start with foot down. If you want to make it real tough, bring that foot up, and we go again. Up, hold it, down 1, 2, 3, 4. Drive it up, keep your toes up, remember. Down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Drive up, hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, a little caveat, I like to look out my knee, squeeze my glute, so squeeze your bum cheeks together, squeeze your thigh together, make a nice straight leg. That also mimic that triple extension kind of mechanic if you're a sprinter or a runner. So whenever you drive off out the block, so that's another good little caveat to that. So whenever I'm pushing up, I'm driving up, locking this knee, squeezing this glute. And again, I want to keep my core in as well. And again, I'm just coming down 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, guys. So just to recap, make sure 5th toe is forward. You're pushing up, pushing the toes up, so you flex, so you're extending the toes. Toes are coming up. We're also going to be pushing all your force through the balls of the feet. You can start with this position with the foot down. If you want to make it even tougher, just bring this leg up off the ground. We want to work 12 to 20 repetitions. You can do this 1 to 2, maybe even 3 times in the circuit with the other exercises we're going to be I'm showing you. So you've got those, and again, really work on that 2 seconds up, hold for 2, down 4 seconds. So you're really working on that deceleration. Great.